So it was just a little technical difficulties. But yes, we are here. So we want to know about you. So please share with you about you. Where is your school? What are you doing? Are your community of multilingual families at your side? So someone here wants to share a little bit.
At our meeting, we have a person from the Centinela Valley coming to our school to present the roadmap for middle school students going to high school, the ELD roadmap. So it was really interesting. And one of the most striking things for me was to learn that they only need a 2 to reclassify. And this is not that they're going easy on them, it's just because it is really hard.
2-1, a 2-1.
And the L, no, what? No.
A different test.
Yeah.
Maybe their
Okay.
grade point average.
Oh, reclass. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think, what's the name of the reading?
What is Sentinel Valley? It's what Sentinel
Hold
Valley.
on, I may need to look at the slides. Probably Ms. Lozano has them.
Let me see.
Eighth grade is back.
Eighth grade aspect.
When they get to high school, right?
They take it at 11th grade, yes. I don't know, it's something, it is one of the rubrics, I think it's a reading, like the I ready, but I don't remember if it is I ready.
High school version of a reading test. Okay. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
really good because we could know what is in the future, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we don't know. And hopefully all our kids are reclassified before they go to Sentinel Valley, but some of them are not. So it's good to know what is the next step out of London.
Was that only for your school, Myla? Only for your?
Well, I don't know if Rogers had a version of this, but yes, it was for Adams. And hopefully, I was telling that representative that it would be a really nice opportunity for them to present this information to all the middle school students that are almost at their doorstep. It's overwhelming to see that only a handful of parents were present. It's important to know this information because when they get there, they will start asking questions. Why my son or my daughter cannot take this class or this other class? So it's because they have to take ELD classes.
I asked because I like the idea of what James is, your school is doing, Teresa, about that. You know how today at 5 we're having that workshop and it's crossed everywhere. I'm like, we should do that more. Share our resources so that, we could all take advantage of them and be more prepared.
Which we'll talk about it a little bit. I have an invitation for everybody, but yeah, that we have a great workshop today at 5 o'clock via Zoom. So yes, we hope that everybody can join. And Teresa Lozano, the community liaison at Jane Addams Middle School.
Sorry, are there people in the waiting room?
I admitted them.
Oh, you, okay.
Yeah.
I realized, speaking of technical difficulties, I'm not sharing my screen. May I,
Oh, sure.
share this?
Recording in progress.
That you're in the reading, there might be.
And it's
In the audio.
Any other comment about what is happening at your community of multilingual families?
At our last meeting at Twain, we went over student needs assessment. We had a listening session and our admin was present. And then we're gonna get ready to plan for Abe in May.
Yeah, sorry.
So. Good to guys there.
I'll share. Marilyn Gill, the Ehlert at Anderson. So we had our last DELAC community meeting yesterday. And we had a lot of, it's generally a lot of our newcomer parents who have been coming to our meetings. And it was nice to not only share some of our data around our emerging bilingual students with them, but then because it was just our newcomer students, our newcomer parents, I was able to sit down with them and talk to them about our summer newcomer academy, plant the seed for that. And then, they said, Kevin tells me about how he goes to this class for 20 minutes and I don't know what that is. So I was able to kind of talk to her a little bit about, he comes to Language Lab for a couple of days a week. He goes to Literacy Center. So it was nice to just have that face to face. So yeah, that was good. And then we also have our culture night that's going to be tonight at Anderson. So able to share about some of our more fun activities and try to get the parents to come in to that kind of stuff too.
I love this idea about the cultural nights because we could learn a lot about other cultures. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
There's a lot, there's more people joining, so if you want to kind of let them know if they want Spanish, again.
Oh, yeah, sure. Tenemos también esta junta en español. La junta está en inglés, si ustedes quieren escuchar la junta en español, por favor solamente seleccionen el globo terráqueo abajo de su pantalla y ahí pueden seleccionar el idioma de español.
I'll put it on the chat as well.
Okay, so for today, we have new officers for the 2026-27. We are also going to talk about reflections on support for English learners this year and ideas also for the next 2 years for come. Okay. So this is our current leadership. Lydia is now here. Yes?
Monday?
Yes.
Okay. And continue. Okay. All right. Thank you, Brenda. I'm happy to be here. My name's Lydia, for those of you who don't know me, and I've been the president of CMF for the past 2 years. Okay. This is our board. This is Giannina, who is our vice president, and secretary was Lisa Martinez. And this is our new board. Welcome to our new board. Yay. So as we have Brenda Veronica as our president, we have Ani Rodriguez as our vice president, and Mailet Romo as our secretary. Welcome to the new leadership. They will need your support. Okay, I snuck this in here because there's still time to review before the test. So if you like, take a snapshot here. At the bottom, that link will take you right to this page where you could look at the LPAC. Big times.
Okay, so the
Impressed.
LPAC were done. Are you referring to the SBAC testing?
Did I put the wrong one?
No, it's the same.
They have
It's the
both.
same
They
one?
have both.
Excuse me, SBAC.
No, they're both there and it's great. But thankfully LPAC we finished, but
Okay.
now most schools have opened their SBAC windows and certain grades have started already, right? So you'll need to check at your site, but practice is great.
Okay, so that you have the webpage there and it'll get you to it. Mhm. Reflections and supports for English learners this year. I'm happy to say that I feel like we're growing. We're growing as a community and we're beginning to share all the resources we have and inviting each other. I think that we've been seeing that a lot more. And I think it's great. I think you guys are going to do great next year because it's just getting better every year. We have programs and activities conducted with LCAP and Title III funds. And those happen to be the professional development of the ELERTs, student-centered coaching of teachers. So this is very important because not only our children are learning, but our alerts and teachers are learning as well. So it brings us all together to with the new and up and coming things. So it's great that we have that opportunity. Alerts coaching and supporting teachers, which is a big deal because the circle there, we keep adding more people to the circle and making it better for everyone. And they're really making database decisions regarding instruction for English learners that's designated and integrated in ELD. Now, there's also the support, as we mentioned, the support of newcomer students and LTELs, before and after school support groups, reading interventions, social emotional support, parent workshops. Workshops such as CAVE and the Vietnamese American Experience Model Curriculum that we attended for the first time this year. This is really full circle, and we're showing you where the money is being invested into and how the resources we have are being used. And as you can see, everybody's included in here. The community is it's full circle. So we just keep going to go to more conferences. This is you have heard Ms. Julie talk about this a lot. We also were able to use the funds for Summer Language Academy, which they presented at CABE San Francisco, our alerts, and it was very well received, very well received. Newcomer long-term English learners and dual immersion students participate in high-quality language instruction over the summer. Teachers participate in targeted professional development and goal setting, data collection, and coaching cycles. Parents attend workshops on how to better support their children, success, thereby creating a transformative learning experience for all. And we can really see this in action. We can really see this in action in our schools. Because the doors are open. The alert meetings are open. We continue to invite them and we continue to reach out to the community. So it's very great to have. Now, when I was reading this last night, Ms. Julie, I thought, for those of them who haven't heard about this program, how do the students get selected for this program?
That's a great question. And we are working with the alert team, but newcomers are invited individually. We know who they are. They're our most recent arrivals, right? So that is an easy one to identify. Some are brand new this year. Some came last year, but still might need some additional supports. For our long-term English learners, those are typically our middle school students who haven't reclassified yet, and we know their areas of need, so we're targeting who needs that specific intervention. And then our dual immersion program it's sort of twofold. It's students with whom we've identified some gaps, particularly when you're learning two languages, that foundational literacy, like K1 and 2 is all about Spanish, and then they start to transition into English, and we've identified some gaps that we want to fill for the children. It's also, and I'll let Charisse and Kenya talk about this more, but it also gives a chance for our teachers to really solidify and practice their knowledge with the new curricula that we're developing to fill those gaps. And this year we're moving through all the way up through 4th and 5th to that. When you get into the more complicated, we've moved from sounds to syllabus to now multisyllabic words, morphology. How does language really work, right? So again, it's very targeted for students who we believe need it, and also for teachers to really fine tune their skills. But I'm going to turn over to the experts over there. If there's anything I missed. Okay.
Okay. That's it. And I guess the only piece I could add is that the piece that we bring to this dual immersion piece is where we've identified that a gap in the curriculum. And so what we're designing is, we have Spanish language arts curriculum and English language arts curriculum, but the curriculum never says this is how you use the curriculum together to help kids that are developing in both languages. And we've identified that there are some skills that are really hard for teachers to know how to put together. And so we've been working systematically and testing out these solutions in Summer Language Academy and measuring how students grow and progress. And then what we try out in Summer Language Academy becomes what the teachers do from August to June. So it's been a nice opportunity for us to, like Julie said, close a gap, both in student learning and in curriculum and in teacher practice, so that we have a program that is the best it can be, always improving.
Thank you for that. And I just have one more question about this. When do parents expect to know if their children is selected for the program?
We are starting that this Friday. Actually, our team is coming together to identify our students. So in the next week or so, we will start inviting families and filling our rosters.
Great. That's great. Get ahead of the game because sometimes, you know, families plan. So let's plan. Yeah. Thank you.
For the Language Academy, it's only academic based. It's all teaching.
No.
Let me add on to that. In order for the teachers to have quality coaching time and planning time, the students do half of the morning, because we only have 8 to 12, right? So they have, or 8:30 to 12. Half of that is academic time. Half of it, they work with a program called BAM, Brains in Motion. And it's kind of a mix of music and motion and coding, which the kids really enjoyed. So it's fun stuff. It's also, because in previous years, the kids in our program would watch the rap kids going and squirting each other and running around. I'm like, why don't we get to have any fun? I said, you can go to rap after. Right now we're learning. So we decided to build in some of that time. They also pull in some of our social emotional learning because we have our social worker interns there. And that's the key component we do with the parents to really support. Because for instance, our newcomers coming in often have a lot of things they're struggling with. So we bring in resources. We want to make sure that they're getting that piece, making friends. Sometimes we have, all Spanish speaking children and one Vietnamese child, right? So how do we bridge those gaps so that they have the common language, English, to work together, and we fill those needs. And also our LTELs tend to have some social emotional needs as well. It's frustrating to not have mastered a language yet. A lot of it has to do with reading comprehension. So we're trying to build that confidence in there and also build up some self-esteem. So we're trying to do a lot at once. So no, it's not just academic. It's sort of the whole child. And then we're trying to bring the family part in as well to make sure that we get everything in those 4 weeks.
That's great. That's great. It gives the kids a leg up, the newcomers a leg up to say, I'm learning the language they use here at this school, and they won't feel so lost when they start. Beautiful. We also have to buy stuff, we also need materials to make all these things happen. So some of the stuff that we invested into was library materials. Sora ebooks and audiobooks in multiple languages. Is this available at all schools?
Yes.
Perfect. Vocabulary software to help students learn math, science, and history content in English. Great resource. Supplemental Spanish reading materials for dual immersion students, B readers. Does anybody want to add to that? Which one they liked the most? Which one they thought we should keep investing in? Nobody?
Well, just to clarify some of that, the B readers is used at the middle school level. Nearpod, EL, and vocabulary, all teachers have the ability to use that. Vocabulary, if you've ever seen your child come home singing a catchy rap song about a science concept or something, that's where that comes from. Nearpod, EL, they're just access to content, right? I'm teaching this lesson in science. The vocabulary around volcanoes and I'm not even going to pretend to know all the science of volcanoes, but I need to teach that. These are additional lessons, videos, rap songs, fun games to help master that vocabulary. I see it used a lot in middle school content areas like science and social studies or history. Less so, or I just don't have a view to see it in other content areas, but those who use it love it because it really supports the kids' learning. And just like the the Sora ebooks and the books in multiple languages, we just wanted our libraries to reflect the kids that come to school here. So Erin Blad Johnson has been instrumental in helping us find books that match the cultures of the kids. So, you know, I mean, she always tells a story about the one little boy who ran up with Harry Potter written in Arabic or something. I was like, I can read this book in my language. Like, he was so excited. So those are the types of things, the experiences we want to provide. And ultimately, we want high achievement in English for all of our English learners, and high achievement also in Spanish for those of whom are in dual immersion. So all of these come together. We have to think about, we have all these English learners, we have LCAP funds that support them, we have Title III funds that support them, we have summer school funds that support them. And that's largely my job, how do we massage all of these things to get what our kids need? Because they get what everybody gets, and then they get these supplemental things to make sure that they have what they need to be successful.
Thank you. I love that the kid found the book in Arabic because it says a feeling of belonging. They're looking out for me. So I love that. Effectiveness of Title III funded services and programs. We have had a high rate of growth on the LPAC between 2023, 24, and 24 and 25.
Soon we'll have 25, 26, but not yet. Hopefully we'll see some really good growth.
20 percentage points growth in proficiency on the alternative LPAC.
That was huge.
It is very huge. 20% is big. And we also have a high reclassification rate, which is the ultimate goal here, right? We want our kids to be ready for the next step. Well done. Good job. Okay. The evolution of DELAC to the community of multilingual families. We have to get into the habit of using the name. Someone brought to my attention that we're falling back into the same routine of ELAC, ELAC and DELAC. Like, what is that? So we have to start saying community of multilingual families so people know exactly what it is. Yeah, it's going to take you a few breaths more, but it will be more inviting if we use the name, the actual name. So that's one of the great things that we did this year that we collaborated with, and we thought, because we want multilingualism to be looked at as a positive thing. So we changed the name from English Learners Advisory Committee to Community of Multilingual Families. So I think that for it to be a little bit more effective, let's use the name. So let's get into the habit of using the name. And also because sometimes people see flyers and they say, what's CMF? So let's just put it out there. The Community of Multilingual Families was created to build a community of parents and school staff dedicated to support our multilingual students and their families. And as you can see, this has been happening because, like I said, we're going full circle to where everybody's participating and learning. Not only the staff, but everyone, the parents, and we have been growing because this was the first year that our fabulous ELERTs presented at CABE, and it was so well received. So like Ms. Julie said, maybe next year or in the future, we could also have a workshop given by the parents. So, so that they can see, so that we can introduce the parent point of view. Our purpose is to create a space where we can all share our experiences, ask questions, and most importantly, collaborate to improve the learning outcomes of our students. As parents, you will have the opportunity to learn alongside the school staff about our school plans, the programs we offer, the ways we can work together to support all of you, the parents, and as a team, we can make recommendations that truly meet the needs of each student. Together, we make significant differences in the lives of our students. This is the place where you come and express your concerns. This is the place where you say, this is what my child needs, or this is what my friend who doesn't come to the meeting told me her child needs. Because we need to be aware. The parents are an important piece of this puzzle. If we don't bring our concerns to the district, then they will not know what to address. So it's very important that we continue. And for those parents whose kids have reclassified, tell a friend. Keep telling a friend, and don't stop coming and support the community.
This is the best part. Ooh, any ideas for 2026, 27 for the next school year? Do you guys want to share?
This,
For community of multilingual families, yes. Anybody
I
on the
would
internet
say
want?
that I like that they are present, they are here, they are always around. And if you ever have questions, I mean, they have been around. It's not like it's new, but I guess it's a new version of you guys.
I agree with that. I agree with that because the videos that you guys are doing is getting you known in the community. That's build that it's like, oh, that's her. Oh, that's who I need to go talk to. So well done. Yeah, yes, yes.
Maybe we can hire Pena to do some community of multilingual families videos where you can do the dance and the call to come to our meetings.
Yes,
I think that's
yes.
awesome.
Any advertising is welcome. Any way we can get the word out, let's do it. You know? So I just, yes.
So finish your thought.
You want to stay away from social media, right? We want to keep our kids away from social media, but we want to be in social media, you know? Teresa, your school has been doing so great. My nephew and I have been able to connect. He goes to James because you are putting all these things. So I can ask him. I don't have to be picking his brain to say, hey, what's going on at your school? No, Teresa just told us. She's putting that all on blast. Hey, did you participate in this event that Miss Lozano did? You know, because I called you Teresa. And he's like, Teresa? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, that's Lozano. So these things help pull the kids in. You know, if I go to Joey and I say to Gabriel and I say, Gabriel, look, and he gets a smile on his face, sense of belonging, you know? So please, Teresa.
Okay. So the team is going to be developing in some new teaching strategies, specifically for all about language acquisition and design. And I would love to see the team, and I will include myself in the team, bringing some of those instructional strategies to the parents in these meetings. And like, okay, today you are second graders, and we're learning about plant reproduction. And then use a strategy, just a little mini lesson, so you can get a feel for what the types of instruction that we're moving towards, what it feels like to participate in those types of lessons. So maybe sometimes you'll be a fifth grader, maybe sometimes you'll be TK, you never know, right? And get a lesson that is kind of in that vein of learning.
That's a great idea. Because if the parents know what's happening exactly how you guys are teaching in the classroom, then maybe we could reflect those same ideas at home. You know, sometimes we're like, how do we do it? And if you come and teach us what you guys are doing, it just makes it that much easier.
You know, also to understand, we have expectations. Why you didn't pass this or why you didn't get a good grade on this. But when we do it, then we will know like, that's why you didn't get this or that. Yes. I like
What was it that we joked? I wonder how the parents would do if they took the LPAC, you know? Yeah, like, can we take the test to see what's going on here? See how we score?
There was a year, maybe 6 years ago, when LPAC first started. Maybe, I don't know if 6 years is the right number of years, but when ELAC at Twain, we were looking at the practice test together. It was a second grade listening question. And it is not easy language. It is not basic, simple language. And the parents and we were divided. It was like 50% thought one answer, 50% thought the other answer. And, you know, half of us were wrong because it's not simple. It is really deep language. So
Yeah, yes,
you need
agreed.
to experience it because you don't know until you live it.
Yes, in Latin. Hi. Let me just. Gabriela, hola.
Hello, hello. This is me speaking in Spanish.
That's Daniel.
Okay. Oh, yes, because for example, in Latin America, you guys, I took when I used to work for an airline, TACA Airlines, I took one of these English tests, right? And we are so different in every state in across Latin America, every country, every state. One state will do it this way, the other state will say it this way. For example, the word bicho. I grew up thinking that bicho, because the Salvadorian community uses the word to express kids. Los bichos, los bichos. When I took this test, it turns out that the question was, the statement was, el bicho se sube al asador y se quema. The bicho gets on the grill and burns himself. I'm like, where's the parents? Was my thought. Where are the parents? Come out of my test, and I'm like, and I throw this at my Salvadorian friends. It's a Salvadorian company. And I say, you guys, was this question? Tell me about it. Well, bicho means insect. Also, and so it could make bicho, the word itself means a lot of things. And even there we, say my friend, my compa, mi paisa. We have many different ways of saying things. So yes, these tests I can imagine are hard. So it's interesting. Any more ideas for the upcoming year?
Well, again, we need ideas for bringing parents in.
True.
So we need, I don't know, we need to find ways to.
Parents to be involved in all meetings. And we can say it in all languages. It doesn't matter what language you say it in. Just the impact that parents bring in when they are involved in the school community. It's major for any student. So yeah, it's hard right now. It's hard times for everybody, but hopefully we at Jane Addams would love to have more volunteers of all cultures, all languages, all skin colors. We welcome everybody.
I think that this idea of how we're sharing information will help everybody connect a little bit more. It's like, or at least to put you on the radar for a parent that isn't aware of James Adams,
I think too, I always distinguish between parent engagement and parent involvement. I am very engaged with my child in her school. I know who her teachers are. I know her homework. I know how to get online. I know how to communicate. Am I involved? No, because I can't go during the workday because I'm here, right? But the important thing is that I'm engaged. But I know how to get the involvement part because I know where the recordings of the meetings are. I can watch on social media. I can do that. And if I can get to school to be involved, that's gravy, right? So I don't want to ever say that if you're not involved, you're a bad parent, right? We need you engaged. We would love to have more people involved, but we need to think about what involvement looks like, right? Involvement could be coming to the meeting. Involvement could be watching the recording of the meeting afterwards. It could be saying, Teresa, I would love to help. Can you give me something to take home with me? I'll work on it over the weekend and I'll bring it back to you. There's lots of different ways to do that. So we need to think about, it's not always the head count at a meeting. So how do we figure that out so that in this case, all of our multilingual families feel like they are involved in the way they can be involved. But most importantly, we're preparing them to be engaged. I know what they're supposed to be learning. I know what these instructional lessons look like. I know how to call the teacher or email the teacher or go to school site council because I have a concern. I know how to do that. That's what's really important because the child comes to school ready to go. And then how do we support them getting over here too? So it's both.
I love the way you explain that. And listening to you, I think that perhaps a meeting at the beginning of each year to explain that parent engagement that would give you a successful student. Perhaps if we put all that in one meeting at the beginning of the year and say, this is where you can get your answers, this is how we move, would be beneficial.
Yeah, we were talking about what it will look like at the beginning of next school year, having a station for our community liaisons to, do the parent square, show how to use all those apps that we use, right, to get engaged, to be engaged. So hopefully next year we can. Yeah, and then for these meetings, there's a lot of times when they don't find the icon to switch from one language to another. So when they hear us speaking English, they're like, "Oh, it's in English. I don't understand," and they leave. So just like this, like teaching them how to like
Agreed.
toggle from one language to another.
Because sometimes parents don't have time to figure it out. And we just need to, just tell me how to do it, and so that would be a great benefit to the parents. Another, something I thought about that would be beneficial at the beginning of the school year and just maintain throughout, would be a list of when when the testing will be. Just put it out there. It's like we're starting at the beginning of the year. This is what's coming up during these times. This is what you have to look forward to throughout the year. Also, this is something that I don't know how doable it is, but it was brought to my attention that sometimes at other schools, they give you a syllabus. They give you a syllabus of what the teacher is doing throughout the month and working on, so then the parents know what questions to ask. Hey, how's it going with syllabus? How's it going with your science, this part that you started? Because now we know exactly what you guys are doing in class. A syllabus is an additional task, and then sometimes it changes, but a general idea of what our children are doing in class would help us be more, tell me the word? Engaged. Engaged. Thank you. Internet world.
It works.
I want to share something.
Sure.
So I love everything I'm hearing, but I kind of just want to so my mom, she is Mexican and she comes from Oaxaca and speaks another language. And I feel like a lot of other students speak a different languages, come from different worlds, but from my personal experience, my parents have never had an education. So we have to think about that a lot when it comes to the bilingual students, that they don't have an education. That means they haven't been in through the route that we have gone through. They don't know nothing about syllabus. They don't know nothing about none of the structure of the class. And that's really important because we're trying to get parents to come in, but in order to do that, we have to understand how they think and why they won't come in. And a lot of it is because language barrier. Um, they don't feel like they belong because they don't have that education. They don't feel like they'll understand. They don't feel like they could do a difference. And I felt that with my mother. She's told me, like, if I go to this meeting, I won't even understand half of the things they're saying. And it makes sense because they didn't have an education like as we do here. So how do we help them understand that you don't need an education to help your student? How do we help them understand that, like, they just need to be there and listen, and whatever they catch on, that's what will help them out. So I always thought about that every time I go to the ESL's little meeting from Williams Green, and I'm just like, I understand everything because I've been here. Like, I went to Williams Green as a child. I grew up. I got an education thanks to my parents. I went to college. I understand that, but when it comes to them, it's a little hard for them because you know it's really intimidating for them to just show up there and act like they know. They can't do that. That's not something that they're capable of doing. So I think that we really need to go back and think about these parents who only speak Spanish or speak another language, and that's all they know. That's all they know, and the education in the education journey, their education journey is not like ours. So I think we need to educate them to tell them, like, hey, We understand, but we have, and in the beginning, I know you guys, when the beginning of the year, we have like workshop. We also, I think we just had a Friday math workshop for Williams Green. And that's the perfect time where a lot of parents will come in, and you guys could tell them, hey, like, I know that we want to address our meeting with full name, but it's also intimidating because we don't know what that means. We don't know they don't know what that means. So I think we need to go a little bit more in depth and tell them like, hey, these workshops are meant for you guys to come and help your student. This is how we hear you out, what you guys need, you know? Um, because if we just say, oh, come to the district meetings and we have this, we have Zoom, like they're also not advanced in technology. They don't know how to use Parent Square as much. My mom doesn't know how to use Parent Square. She's always constantly asking me. She doesn't know how to use Zoom. And like, yeah, we're providing all these stuff for parents, all these resources. But what good use of is it if they don't even know how to use it. They don't even know how to manage it. Like, I think that's kind of a little bit of the problem, that there is all these resources and there's all these things that you guys are doing Zoom, but if they don't really understand what we're doing, they can't really come in and, be there for their student.
Thank you for sharing. Yes. I hear you and I see your point, and I think that we should address some of these concerns and maybe go back to some of the ideas that we had in the past. For example, the tech workshop that they did at Twain, bring those things back to the parent and maybe do it an annual thing. These are the meetings that you have to participate in at the beginning of the year to be an engaged parent. You may not, don't worry if you don't know, we will let you know. Just get in the door. Get in the door. And in there, I'm sorry, what was your name? The person who was just sharing?
Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca, for sharing. And I think that this is where we go back into the community and say, Mom, vaya a la junta. Okay? Because even though you don't know, if you don't go, you're never going to know. So you got to go. You got to go and they will help you, because if it's anything in this district, we can get answers here. It's a small district and we know exactly where to go. So the parents also have to be saying, let's just go. Let's just go and be involved because we need to be engaged.
Well, I think too, like Teresa here, if mom was a Adams student, Teresa will take you by the hand one-on-one and show you how to hook up Parent Square and how to use it. So maybe we need to be better about advertising. There's somebody at every school. That's exactly what their job is. They are the interface with parents and grandparents, TS, TOs, whoever the caregiver is for the child. And that's what they do. You don't know how to go to Parent Square? Come on over. Come sit with me. I'll show you right now. Or you have a question about this, or in the case of your parents, Rebecca, we do offer ESL classes for adults, and maybe we need to make a connection for that, because that not only, the ESL classes are amazing, they're not just about learning English. They create a community, right? Because there are other families that you meet who are having the same struggles, who are trying to learn the language, who may not speak the same primary language. I was so cute at one of the ESL groups. They had all these Spanish speakers and they had one Arabic speaker, and they were very concerned about him because when, then they started feeding each other and they would bring meals and they had to be kicked because he doesn't eat pork. So everybody got to remember, we don't have pork at our meals. So they were very, connected. They formed that community and they were learning English at the same time. So we have a lot of that there, but unless you're connected to it, you don't know. So we could do better. And I'm looking at you, Haney. We're just going to video everything, right? Or come sit with me. I'll show you how to set up Parent Square if you're lost. And then realize too that whether we have internet or not, the personal connection is the biggest driver. I'll come because Lydia asked me to come. I'll come because Teresa said she'd help me, not because I got an email blast. No offense to all the email blasts, but those are great. But I need that extra pull.
Yeah.
Right?
To add to that. So our mass communications, I mean, that's what Parent Square is, right? Is mass communication. It's not meant
to create those personal relationships, right? That's where the schools come in. That's where our community liaisons, our principals, our e-learns, that's where they come in, right? So based on what she was saying, I was just thinking, it's like we have to go all the way to the beginning, right? From that, like start the welcome, help them throughout, right? But knowing that some can't read, or like Lydia was talking about, the language is not the same. The terms we don't use is not the same. Just shows us that we need to do, you're right, do a little bit better and learning about what our parents need and start from there. Maybe they need more classes like ESL. Maybe they need more parenting classes, right? We just have to see what they need and go from there. Thankfully, now that we have community schools, we have more resources. Now that we're doing so many good things with like positive solutions and everything, there's going to be more opportunity. But that, I think, she made a good point that it really, like, it's a lot deeper now, right? It's not just advertising now. It's really like learning what our parents need and how everyone's going to be different. It is a lot. It's kind of complicated because of we don't know who they are. But I feel like there's a way in the beginning to find out who those people are and then help them throughout to make sure they're comfortable and ready to go.
And I just wanna also say that these same parents that do want to help their students but don't end up going to these meetings, and not just because of the language they don't speak, or because it's English. No, it's just because it's a little harder also for them to understand. Like, you have to repeat them 3 times and they still won't understand what we're saying, just also because of the words that we use in Spanish. Their slang Spanish is so different, or like the way they say stuff is so different, so it's a little harder. And they're very, like, we're talking about parents who are, they don't want to speak up, like they don't want to say anything, they just want to go in here, and then they're not going to go and ask and be like, oh, can you repeat that one more time? What they will do, what I usually see, is they'll go ask another parent and tell them, hey, did you understand this and all that. But I think that the whole point is just to bring those parents through the door. And, once we have them through the door, like, that's it. Like, I think, like, coming more to those meetings, they're definitely going to be more engaged, with what's going on. And I think that the perfect way to get these parents is when they attend these, because they attend workshops, they go to these math things, like, they want to learn, but I don't think they're very much aware that we have these workshops, like right now that we have in this workshop. Even though I talked to Miss Araí about this in the last meeting that we had, and she said that she doesn't know, like, she already posted it on Parent Square. She already sent it through message. She already made this whole. I was like, for Parent Square, I did see some beautiful flowers that says April, and I thought it was just a little design. I didn't really think of clicking there, and that it would extend to all the workshops and all the district meetings and stuff like that. So I think that's a good idea of showing parents how to use Parent Square, or how to navigate, or let them know about this calendar, or these new things that's going on. That way they know what to expect, and they know where to look, and they know, like, where they can attend these workshops.
Thank you, Rebecca.
It's a flag that we still have to reach parents that don't know how to use Parent Square. So we still have to use the regular methods.
Yeah.
And probably, like she was saying, if it starts with you as a community, I remember last week you had a new family, a newcomer family. And I don't know if the meeting was that day, but they were at the multilingual meeting. And it's really nice when you are able to connect, asking them, oh, welcome. Or I remember I talked to the student and I told him, how do you see yourself in this school? And, being able to connect with the families, it is important, and you are the first ones. But again, Ms. Liliana said, you are the first connection, then it grows from there. And if they don't know how to use a computer, they will not know all the resources.
So at Mitchell and our school side council, we're talking about these kind of things, technology and everything. And we agree that Parent Square is a little difficult sometimes. If you put a flyer with a little letters, sometimes it's really difficult to make it grow. Yes, it's really, really hard. So I just miss the information because I don't have time to figure it out. I have a lot of things to do. So we were talking about why we lost the usual things like the flyers, like things like that. So, okay, maybe it's a lot of waste on paper, but we came with an idea in Mitchell that maybe we could have just a board with the events for the week. And the family school know all the events of that week. Because yes, Pine Square sometimes is really hard.
So as you guys are saying this, I'm thinking of some of the things that have worked in the PALS program for us. QR codes are huge. QR codes get you the information in the palm of your hand. You could just with your phone click. So how about we do a sheet of QR codes like we did for PALS? What it was, so in PALS, we gave them a sheet that said, this is your vaccine record. Press this QR code to get your LA County vaccine record. The QR code at the bottom was, this is where you could find the low cost or free vaccines. Now the information is on QR codes in their hands. What if we did something like, this is the QR code that takes you to the video on how to learn Parent Square, and they learn it at their own time at home. For newcomers, we say, this is the list of the things that we have to check off for you to be an engaged parent. And we say, learn Parent Square, learn this, learn that. This is your Teresa at our school. This is your, with QR codes. You need help from your community liaison? This is her phone number. Something where it's in their hands. Because if there's a technology that the majority of us use, it's a phone. So perhaps that could be something. And then make it, we got to use the kids. The kids, if we give them a homework pass and say, if your parents complete all of this, we could give you a homework pass. The kids will push. The kids will push because we all need a homework pass every once in a while, right?
Yes, I agree. I agree with that. My daughter comes all the time when there's like like yesterday there's an open house. Today's there's an open house. So she's like, Mom, there's open house. My teacher said if you guys like, they're really on it. Like the kids are really on it. Especially if there is an incentive as well.
Yeah, we find that at Twain, what works well is or slips. Parent participation. If you give kids or slips, they'll push their parents. They'll say, I'm going to get 5. And it gets parents in the door. So that's something perhaps we could look at.
Yeah, we actually had an idea at the district and where we were going to start like counting like points of how many meetings the parents attended so they could get a special district like or slip, right? That the schools, the students can take back to their schools and purchase something at their store, but it would be like a golden ticket. We were working on something, but we kind of like lost a little, steam along the way. But we can bring it back, like in I don't know how much it would be, but it would be that's because we want them. We want more parents here. We want more parents here at our meetings too. We're ready. We just have to figure out the system and see how it's gonna work.
Long list of to-dos for 26, 27 already. That's
I am happy to hear. I am happy for everybody's participation and just sharing all these ideas because sometimes some of us have these ideas, but we're too shy to speak up. So just give it to us all. Give it to us. Anybody else? We have a couple minutes before our meeting. No?
Rebecca. Let's get Rebecca into the board at Green.
Rebecca is now our DPAC president for next year.
Nice. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we'll see a lot more of her. Yes.
Okay.
I had put this slide on in case we couldn't come up with any ideas because these are the role and responsibilities of DPAC. Like one of them, and one of the things that I need to start sharing with you, like I shared, here's how we're spending our money, is they mention a master plan. Essentially, that's just writing down all the things that we do, right? This is how we identify English learners when they first enroll in school. This is the LPAC that we use. This is how we reclassify our students. So I've been working on that slowly, and I would be bringing it to the group throughout next year to say, can you take a look at this and give me your feedback? I'm trying to encapsulate how we do things here. So that's one thing we can do. The other is giving feedback on the LCAP, which we'll have that opportunity coming up in May that's coming up. So also is looking at our reclassification procedures, which we have changed many times over the years, trying to offer additional pathways for our students. So anytime there is a change, we bring it back to this group so that you can weigh in on that. So just, some additional things that are, because I've always told our leadership that this is a parent meeting, and there are some things that I'm mandated to bring, so that I will always ask the leadership's permission, can I put this on the agenda? Because this is something else we need to do, which essentially just, as I said, summarizes the things that we're doing.
In regards to this and parent participation, I have to give a shout out to the district because you don't do anything by yourself. They help you whenever you step up for roles like this. They're right behind you. They're telling you this is what would help. This is the agenda. You're not alone. So just jump in there and they will help you and we can be more successful. I think we went through some of this. Yeah, I think we put it in there to turn and talk. We're gonna, in interest of time and be respectful of everybody's time. So upcoming board meetings, May 7th, superintendent student leadership presentations. So May 7th, join them. May 21st, Measure CL presentation. Community liaisons will be presenting. That's you.
No, Measure CL is actually, it's a different CL. That's a construction.
Do you guys see why we have to stay away from acronyms? Do you see that?
Technology. But Rogers Middle School will be the school spotlight. So if you're interested in what Rogers is doing, that's a great time to see their program.
Rebecca, tell your mom about this. Tell her I've been here 2 years and I still make mistakes. So get over here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely let her know.
Okay, our next meeting is coming up. We have the GATE Parent Support Group on April 24th.
It's Friday.
Which is Friday. I'm like, The LCAP presentation for all parents is May 13th. And we have our parent leadership celebration on May 27th. Those will all take place here at the district. That's it?
No, we have one more slide.
One more, perdón. There we go.
Yes.
One more slide. Miss Teresa, tell us.
Yes, this is for tonight. Tonight at 5 o'clock is via Zoom. I know open house is for the elementary schools, but if you guys can share, it's a wonderful workshop presented by the Department of Mental Health. It will talk about challenges for newcomers, what they face, the impact in our mental health, whether it's in our kids or us adults. So please, I shared the link on the chat. It will be only in Spanish. If you are interested in an English one, definitely reach out because we can bring them back there. The Department of Mental Health is just there and they're willing to do workshops for us anytime we need to. So they can do in English as well, but tonight will be only in Spanish. So please share it with your family members. It will be a great workshop and it's open for the whole community.
Will the meeting be recorded? Shared later.
Unfortunately, we cannot record. Yeah, it will not be recorded. But yeah, it will. Hopefully we can get a lot of people. I'll
Love
try.
the QR code.
Yes.
Thank you. I love the QR code and this mental health is so big. So please take advantage of these opportunities because at every meeting I'm able to learn something. If it, or something that I haven't heard before and that it will remind me how to apply it into our lives. We are living difficult times right now. There's a lot going on. So we got to take care of ourselves to be able to take care of other people. So please take advantage of these opportunities. Anybody else? Thank you all, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
And I was going to say, like, I remember meeting Gabby, that she welcomed the center.
Yes.
Well, you know, it's
One of them, I think, already took a picture.
No, we had a lot of chat.
Okay, then that's good.
I saw that in general.
Yana had more.
Yeah.
So I didn't put.
I thought like here's the first.
Finally get to see who is here. You're presenting, you don't get to see.
Now.
Have a great day, everybody.
At a point where parents are.
See you soon.
Just crazy.
Thank you.
They're just not gonna tell. But they're calling like our homes for.